ask questions before you on behalf of many in our community who, like myself, want to see transparency and have many questions left unanswered.
Calls for a new jail in Macon continue after 4 inmates escaped Monday. WGXA News is working for you, pressing lawmakers for answers.
And so now it's time to move the jail. It was time then, and it's time now.
Plus, a former Macon mayor sits down with WGXA News recalling his efforts for a new jail years ago, the roadblocks he faced, and his reaction to this week's escape.
It's day 3 in the search for the escaped inmates in Macon. Team coverage from WGXA News starts right now. And the 4 men who escaped the Bibb County Law Enforcement Center early Monday morning are still at large.
Bibb deputies, along with state and federal authorities, say they are investigating the reported sightings of Joey Fournier, Mark Anderson, Jennifer Barnwell, and Chavis Stokes. But as of right now, each remains on the run.
Fournier was being held on murder and assault charges, accused of killing his ex-girlfriend in February of last year. And Barnwell was awaiting to be moved to federal prison, set to serve a life sentence for armed drug trafficking.
The escape of these inmates bringing to light issues at the Bibb County Law Enforcement Center and the number of staff members at the jail.
Back in 2021, the Law Enforcement Center made headlines when an overwhelming presence was called to the jail. Here's a look at that scene. Georgia State troopers and multiple deputies were all at the LEC with lights flashing. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office told WGXA that the call for backup was made after 2 inmates refused to cooperate during evening checks.
While Sheriff David Davis says the Sheriff's Office was short by around 100 deputies, one corrections officer says 10 people that worked at the jail at the time was not indicative of a shortage.
Of additional staffing needed because we had staff here to manage every post and to manage the jail. But again, when you get an unruly inmate, who wouldn't want somebody extra to show up and says, okay, at least we can show that we have the force so that it doesn't get out of hand.
Now, in Monday's escape, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office tells us there were less than 10 people working at the jail. There are currently 837 inmates at the LEC.
And there are major parallels between one escaped Macon Bibb inmate and the inmate that escaped the Pennsylvania jail back in September. Macon escapee Joey Fournier and Pennsylvania inmate Daniello Cavalcante both face murder charges. Police in Cavalcante's case set up perimeters spanning 8 to 10 square miles. Authorities there also held press conferences twice a day to keep the public and media updated on the search.
Here in Macon, so far, the Sheriff's Office has not addressed the public since Monday afternoon. They told us there are no plans for a press conference at this time. So far, there is no staging area for the search, and no known roadblocks or other inmate search efforts have been reported to WGXA. We have reached out to the FBI to find out their role in the search, but have not gotten a response just yet.
We did, however, speak to the office of Governor Brian Kemp. His spokesperson tells us Governor Kemp is routinely kept appraised of matters related to public safety and including these developments in Bibb County, and has been in communication with local officials as well.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office has opened 2 24/7 tip lines for anyone who believes they spotted any of the escaped inmates. There's also a $1,000 reward for anyone that gives information leading to their rearrest. Now, after multiple calls for a new jail in Macon, WGXA News asked the mayor's office for their reaction. They never granted us an interview, however.
At Tuesday's commission meeting, we pressed lawmakers for answers, but the response we got is the same one that we've had all week. In the meantime, we want to know if you are concerned with a lack of response from elected leaders since the escape. Scan the QR code on your screen to vote in our interactive poll and let us know what you think.
For being here tonight. This is not a question and answer for us, but I do appreciate the effort for you being a reporter.
That's the response WGXA's Gloria Ruth Finney got after pressing lawmakers for a reaction to calls for a new jail in Macon. Calls for a new facility have been going on for several years, predating the escape of 4 inmates Monday. Our request for an interview with the mayor went unanswered, so we used the public comment as an opportunity to address all of Macon's elected officials.
In 2 grand jury recommendations, they mentioned need for improvements, such as broken windows, like those that the inmates are said to have escaped from. They needed to be repaired, is what the grand jury said they determined. And the grand jury also suggested need for a new jail over public projects. Is there an opportunity to obtain bonds to do this, to build a new jail? Why have our leaders been silent today?
The mayor's response:
I'm sure that the constitutionally elected sheriff will be happy to answer those questions, and myself as mayor will be happy to answer those at the appropriate time, including after those gentlemen are apprehended.
Multiple requests for comment to the sheriff's office have not been granted. Sheriff David Davis has not addressed the public since Monday's press conference.
As you well know, we had an escape last night from the Bibb County Jail. We have 4 inmates that are out at large at this time.
Following Gloria Root's questioning of the mayor and commissioners, one chose to talk one-on-one after last night's meeting. Virgil Walken says he believes a new jail is long overdue.
It's not a safe facility. I know that jail is supposed to be bad, but we're not feeding people correctly. We're not looking after safety. Sexual assaults happening on the daily, physical assaults happening on the frequent. People are stabbed. Again, evidence. Inmates have been killed, staff has been killed. People are hurt on both the staff side and the inmate side on the daily.
And community members seemingly agree.
I think obviously we need a new jail and security.
Now, there have been many new calls for a new jail.
Our Brianna Cook sat down with one of the former mayors of Macon who has always wanted the jail to be moved. Brianna?
Greg and Amanda, he says that he has been pushing the issue for years to have this jail moved.
We should not continue to invest money in that rat hole.
That rat hole he is referring to is the Bibb County Jail. Some say it is falling apart as time goes on, with reports of rodents, broken windows, and now escaped inmates. I sat down with the former mayor of Macon, C. Jack Ellis, who says he was trying to have the jail moved for years, but was unsuccessful. He explained that the jail is on a valuable piece of land, and during his office term, they hired a company for development surrounding the jail.
And the company that I hired to do the master plan said that we could never complete that part of Macon and the redevelopment of it as long as the jail was there, because it was what economic developers and community developers call an institutional wall.
He expressed that he tried to do everything he could to help move the jail elsewhere.
I even went so far as went to Washington, D.C. and met with the Department of Justice and identified $50 million, a pot of money that we could have gotten, but it was up to the sheriff at the time, Modena, to apply for.
In the 1970s, the Macon jail was housed on the 5th floor of the county courthouse. The commissioners were under court order by a U.S. District Court judge to build a new jail. There were several ideas of where to build, like on a 75-acre tract on Fulton Mill Road, or somewhere near the Opera House. However, both ideas did not plan out. Now the jail is over 40 years old, experiencing major problems with maintenance and upkeep. Ellis says his largest blockade for building a new jail was the sheriff at the time.
He wanted to fight me on closing streets and, of course, renovating the jail, put in $30 million, I think, whatever they put in the jail to renovate it. And I thought it was a bad idea then, and I think it's a bad idea now.
He says current officials need to stop delaying the process before it's too late.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is now. So we should have gotten rid of that jail 20 years ago, but we didn't. So we need to get rid of it now. And I mean now.
We'll have more of our interview with the former mayor tomorrow. We talked about why the jail is here now and what moving it could do for the city's economy. Reporting live in Macon, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
Thank you, Brianna. And we've been asking you throughout the newscast, are you concerned with a lack of response from elected leaders about the escapes? So far, 92% of you, the overwhelming majority, say yes, 8% no. Scan the QR code on your screen to participate in our interactive poll.